Something happened on live television that stopped audiences mid-scroll. Fans watching Live with Kelly and Mark on a completely ordinary morning suddenly found themselves glued to their screens. Not because of a celebrity guest or a viral game segment, but because of a raw, unscripted moment between two people who have been together for over 3 decades. Kelly Ripa's eyes filled with tears. Mark Consuelos reached over, and the audience held its breath. This is that story. Welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, we cover the stories behind Hollywood's most fascinating couples, careers, and cultural moments. And today's story is one that's been making waves across entertainment news circles, social media feeds, and morning show fan communities alike. We're talking about Kelly Ripa and Mark Consuelos, two names that, in the world of daytime television, are practically synonymous with authenticity, chemistry, and the rare kind of love that actually survives the spotlight. But today, it wasn't just about the laughs or the banter that their audience has come to love. Today, it was about something deeper, something personal, and something that reminded millions of viewers why they keep tuning in every single morning. So settle in, because this one is worth every second. To truly understand why this moment hit so differently, you have to understand who Kelly Ripa and Mark Consuelos really are, not just as television personalities, but as people. Kelly Ripa has been a staple of morning television for well over 2 decades. She first rose to fame on All My Children, where she played the beloved Haley Vaughn Santos. Her warmth, her wit, and her ability to connect with audiences made her a natural fit for live television. And when she joined the morning talk show format, she brought an energy that was unlike anything daytime TV had seen before. Then there's Mark Consuelos, actor, producer, and the man who, in one of television's most talked about behind-the-scenes stories, swept Kelly Ripa right off her feet. The two met on the set of All My Children in 1995. By 1996, they had eloped. And while Hollywood relationships are famously fragile, theirs has not only survived, it has genuinely thrived. Together, they share 3 children, Michael, Lola, and Joaquin. And for years, even as their individual careers kept them in different cities and on different sets, they maintained a relationship that fans consistently describe as one of the most refreshingly real in the entertainment world. When Mark officially joined Kelly as the permanent co-host of Live with Kelly and Mark in 2023, replacing Ryan Seacrest, many people wondered how it would work. Could spouses really co-host a live show 5 days a week without it becoming awkward or forced? What happened next answered that question definitively. Their chemistry on screen was immediate, electric, and, most importantly, genuine. Viewers were watching 2 polished television hosts. They were watching 2 people who actually knew each other, who had inside jokes going back 30 years, who could finish each other's sentences and call each other out in the most loving way possible. And that authenticity, that's exactly what made this recent moment so powerful. It started, like so many memorable television moments do, as a casual morning conversation. The show was moving through its opening segment, the kind of loose, unscripted dialogue that Live with Kelly and Mark is known for. Kelly and Mark were chatting about their family, about life at home, about the passage of time that every parent eventually has to reckon with. And then Mark said something that shifted the whole energy of the room. He spoke about their children, specifically about how quickly they had grown up, how each milestone seemed to arrive before either of them had fully processed the last one, and how, in the middle of all the chaos of careers and schedules and public life, there were these quiet moments at home that meant everything. He talked about watching their youngest, Joaquin, step fully into adulthood, about the strange, beautiful ache that comes with being proud of someone while simultaneously wishing, just for a moment, that time would slow down. And then he looked at Kelly, not for the camera, not for the audience, just at her. And he said simply and honestly that none of it, not the career, not the success, not the decades of work, would have meant anything without her beside him. The studio audience went still. Kelly, who is known for her quick wit and her ability to keep the energy of a live show moving at all times, was, for just a moment, quiet. Her eyes filled. She laughed softly, the way people do when an emotion catches them off guard, and she reached over and took his hand. It was maybe 15 seconds of television. Unscripted, unplanned, completely real. And it went everywhere. Within hours, clips of the moment were circulating across social media platforms. Entertainment news outlets picked it up. Fan pages for the show shared it. Comment sections flooded with responses from viewers who said they had been watching the show for years and had never seen Kelly so visibly moved on camera. People talked about it the way they talk about the moments that remind them why they watch television in the first place. Not for the spectacle, but for the connection. "This is why I watch every morning," wrote one fan. "They're just real. You can't fake that. I didn't expect to cry at a talk show segment, but here I am," posted another. And then something interesting happened that doesn't always happen with viral celebrity moments. Instead of the conversation becoming about the drama of it, instead of speculation or a tabloid spin, it stayed warm. People weren't dissecting what it meant or reading into it. They were just moved by it. And they wanted to share that feeling. That, in the world of pop culture news, is actually rare. What makes Kelly Ripa and Mark Consuelos so compelling as a couple and as co-hosts is that they have never tried to be something they're not. They've been open about the challenges of balancing two high-profile careers with raising a family. They've laughed about the arguments. They've acknowledged the work it takes. They've talked honestly about the years when their schedules barely overlapped and the deliberate choices they had to make to stay connected. In a media landscape that often rewards either picture-perfect perfection or dramatic dysfunction, their willingness to simply be human is genuinely refreshing. Kelly, in particular, has spoken in interviews over the years about how her family remains her anchor. About how, no matter what happens in the professional world, the ratings, the reviews, the relentless pace of live television, what grounds her is the life she and Mark have built together. And Mark, who has built a parallel career with acting credits that span from Riverdale to a range of film and television projects, has often spoken about how he and Kelly approach their relationship as a true partnership. One built on mutual respect, honest communication, and by all accounts, a genuine friendship that was there from the very beginning. That's the foundation beneath the moment that went viral. It wasn't a performance. It was the result of 30 years of choosing each other, playing out for 15 seconds in front of a live studio audience and millions of viewers at home. Moments like this one matter beyond the couple themselves. Live with Kelly and Mark occupies a unique space in the daytime television landscape. Morning talk shows have been a part of American media culture for generations. They're the backdrop to breakfast tables, school mornings, commutes, and quiet afternoons. They're woven into the rhythm of daily life for millions of households. And in that space, Kelly Ripa has been a consistent, stabilizing presence for more than 20 years. The show has evolved. Co-hosts have come and gone. The world outside the studio has changed dramatically. But Kelly has remained, not because of any single moment of television brilliance, but because of an accumulated trust she has built with her audience over decades. Adding Mark to that dynamic was a risk that clearly paid off. Because now the show isn't just a morning program with good guests and entertaining segments. It's also, in a very real way, a window into a relationship that people genuinely root for. Viewers feel invested in Kelly and Mark not because they're celebrities to be admired from a distance, but because they feel, correctly it seems, like they actually know them. That's a rare thing to achieve in the entertainment industry. And it's what turns a 15-second clip of a husband looking at his wife into a story that gets shared a million times before noon. In an era when celebrity culture often feels curated, filtered, and carefully managed, there is something genuinely powerful about a moment that slips through all of that and lands as simply, purely real. Kelly Ripa and Mark Consuelos have spent 30 years building something. A family, a partnership, 2 separate careers, and now a shared daily presence in the lives of their viewers. And the moment that's been circulating across the internet this week is a reminder that all of that time, all of that investment shows up on screen in ways that no publicist could script. It shows up in a look, in a pause, in the way someone's eyes fill before they can stop them. And for the millions of people who tuned in that morning, maybe while making coffee, maybe while getting kids ready for school, maybe just sitting quietly for a few minutes before the day began, it was a moment that said something they needed to hear. That real love exists, that it's hard work, that it's worth it. And sometimes on a completely ordinary Tuesday morning, you can see it on television between two people who have been choosing each other for 30 years and who clearly, genuinely, still mean it. Now I want to hear from you. What do you think makes Kelly and Mark's dynamic on Live with Kelly and Mark so compelling to watch? Is it their chemistry? Their honesty? The fact that they clearly know each other so well? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. I read every single one. And if you enjoyed this celebrity entertainment update, hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications so you never miss a story. We cover Hollywood couples, talk show culture, pop culture moments, and the entertainment news that actually matters. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.